Time scarcity. How many of you ever felt like there's just not enough time? Our whole goal today is to move from any kind of scarcity to a place of abundance. And we're going to do that by repacking our backpack. Alright, the point is we all carry an invisible backpack. It holds our thoughts, our beliefs, and our emotions. And these are the things that determine your reality. And it's so funny as we look at everything around us and we say that is reality. But it is only completely determined by your thoughts, your beliefs, and your emotions. And ultimately it's going to be your emotions that drive behavior, not even rational thoughts. How many of you have ever had irrational thoughts? like me last night going, I'm sure I can still get a $3,900 Prius. I can scam the scammer. I can scam the scammer. So these are what determine your reality. And you know, we carry things in our backpack and either they empower us or they weigh us down. And if you notice people that are difficult to be around, it's simply because of what's in their backpack. One day I was having a really difficult time. I had just a year earlier given birth to a baby, and out popped a twin brother, and that'll throw you for a loop right there. And when you're totally unexpecting twins, and out come twins. And so now I had 4 kids, and I'd left the work I was doing, and my husband and I moved back to Spokane, and I was just in such a place of conflict, frustration. And I remember thinking, oh, if only things were different. And I literally heard this voice say, don't say if only things were different. You have the power to make them different. And it was the first time that I felt that knot of anxiety kind of lighten up. And I put the sheet down. So I pulled it over my head. I didn't want to get up. And I was like, I have the power to make them different. How? And I heard that same idea floating up, repack your backpack. I thought, that's helpful. But that's when I started pursuing this idea and realizing that your thoughts, your reality can change instantly. Everything that you think is true, it can change in a moment. My friend Walleen Dockery used to say this, it's not what happens to me that matters. It's what I tell myself about what happens that matters. Walleen's husband, Rex Dockery, was all-conference coach of the year for Memphis State. And a week after being named all-conference, he was on an airplane coming to McMinnville with some boosters, and his plane crashed. And they all perished, those great people. And Walleen lived, she and the boys, and she had to turn that around to be an opportunity to empower other people. And she said, it's not what happens to me that matters, it's what I tell myself. And listen, 95% of your mood is determined by what you tell yourself. And what you tell yourself is a result of what's in this backpack. So I'm asking you today, what do you tell yourself about your health and your body? Part of how I learned to become what I call naturally wealthy, where I don't stress over money all the time, and where we find ourselves having more than enough, is that when I was probably 16 to 21, I had a terrible eating disorder. And it was fueled by all kinds of faulty stuff in my backpack. And the meaning that I applied to different things I'd heard people say. And finally at one point I quit studying all these dieters and becoming obsessed. And I learned to study naturally slender people. What do people do that have never struggled with their weight? And for 17 years that has not been an issue for me at all, even with having twins and children. And so I learned to apply these same ideas. What do wealthy people do? What do successful people do? How do they think, feel, and act? Because if you will think and feel and then act the way successful people do,